Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of The Seventh Rule. I'm here with your stars, Aron Eisenberg and Cirroc Lofton. You know them as Nog and Jake Sisko on Deep Space Nine. My name is Ryan T. Husk. Today, we're going to talk about, we've got some new content, a new series that we're launching this week. And we've also got The Passenger, Episode 8 of Deep Space Nine, directed by Paul Lynch, to discuss. We were just talking scintillating reviews about it. We can't wait for you to hear all about it on The Seventh Rule. Why are you laughing already, Aron?
Scintillating reviews. Whetting their appetite.
So, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about this new content we're doing. For the next 4 weeks or so, we are doing something called the Star Trek Convention series, where we highlight and...
Hey guys, is it just me or is it breaking up? Is that just my connect?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay.
But yeah, we're talking about Star Trek Convention attendees and vendors and cosplayers, things like that. We're bringing guests on. So if you want to be featured as one of our guests of the Star Trek Convention, feel free to let us know on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
Facebook,
Patreon.
Send us a pigeon. Anything.
Mail Cirroc Lofton.
You would have to send us pigeon to Cirroc.
Yeah, my connection sucks.
Yeah. We're having technical issues again with Cirroc.
That's a flashback.
It's like the search for Wi-Fi. Right, we're going to change our title. The Seventh Rule, the search for Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah, the search for Wi-Fi.
It's like he's looking around the house like he can actually see the Wi-Fi signal in the air, I think. I think he is like a magnet for Wi-Fi.
So this...
I can find it.
This new series that we're doing is actually fairly similar to something that Cirroc had been doing and wanted to do in the past, which was... He wanted to kind of like highlight people at the conventions. You wanted to tell us a little bit about that, Cirroc?
Yeah, so I got the idea a couple years back, but you know, the idea was to do a show that covers conventions.
It's just right. I mean, we've been talking for like 30 minutes before we started. Everything was
hours.
Fine. Yeah. Everything was fine. And now, as soon as you hit record, frozen.
Yeah, we're talking for like 2 hours. So we'll just tell you, Cirroc had been going around conventions and kind of interviewing the con goers and, you know, seeing what makes them tick and what they like about Star Trek, what they like about the convention, stuff like that. So this is kind of the Seventh Rules version of that, where we're bringing on individual guests and you're doing like a 15 or 20 minute spot. And we're going to be putting that up for the next 4 weeks. We see as Cirroc. We'll be putting that up for the next 4 weeks, practically daily.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and who have we? And we've talked to several people, and they've got some great things going on, especially for Star Trek Las Vegas. We had Darnell Davis. Yep, right. And we also have 2 new interns. We'd like to mention them. Give them a shout out.
Yeah, our Trek techs, our new Trek techs, Heather Jordan and Kat R. King. They are our intern Trek techs, and they'll be helping us out this month with this new series since we're doing double duty here.
Double duty.
And they've been very helpful so far and very cheery. One lives in LA, one lives in New York.
That's right. One lives in LA and one lives in New York. We just lost Cirroc again.
It's okay.
The search for Wi-Fi. Yes, and it's great to have them on, and we hope that you guys check out these little snippets of video we've been shooting. We got some more guests coming next week as well, and we're shooting to bring Armin in for the next show after this one for Move Along Home to hope and speak about that episode. And Armin, if we want to move in, do we want to move into The Passenger? I'm ready to talk about The Passenger.
You know, let's do it.
Let's do it.
But first,
first.
If you or anybody you know want to be a guest on the show and talk about Star Trek Convention, especially Star Trek Las Vegas, because this is kind of like the 1 month lead up to Star Trek Las Vegas, the biggest convention in the world that we know and love, please let us know. Send them our way and give us a little message as to why they want to be on the show. And we'll see what happens. Please continue, Aron.
Oh, well, what am I continuing with?
Whatever.
I don't know. Today we had Eric Hall and Brooke and Mindy join us on on an earlier episode that we recorded prior to this one. So check them out. It's a lot of fun, and we hope to hear from you guys. And we're on Instagram now, we're on Twitter, and we're on Facebook. And let's get into The Passenger. I actually really liked this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was kind of like a whodunit, a mystery. Who's, the bad guy, and, who's possessed. And, you're wondering, going through the episode. I love that there was energy leakage. I think anytime a show uses the word leakage, it's going to be a great show.
It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, very good show. So anyway,
Paul Lynch.
Paul Lynch was the director.
Do you remember him?
And it's interesting. I don't actually remember him. Do you, Cirroc?
Yes, I do remember Paul a little bit. Not as much as, but he's done a few episodes for us, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's done about 4 or 5 episodes. I've seen him before. I remember his face, but I just don't remember connecting with him personally.
Sure.
So I don't have that memory that I can just recall. Oh yeah, as much as I do other directors like David Livingston and Les Landau.
Oh, let me tell you the 5 episodes that Paul Lynch has directed. It looks like they're all in the first season, actually. They are A Man Alone.
I was in that one.
Babel, Q-less. These are all the ones that we had just covered.
We just covered all of these, yeah.
Yep, and Battle Lines. And then a few on The Next Generation, like The First Duty, which is a very preferred episode that we all love.
I'm so juvenile.
And The Naked Now, among others, which is not a preferred episode. Anyway, sorry.
And then the sequel to that, The Naked Later.
I was waiting for something. There it is.
We need somebody in the back with a drum.
Yeah. So Paul Lynch basically did a lot of the early episodes that we, the first few episodes after David Carson, who did the pilot episode. I don't know if you remember working with David Carson, Aron.
I do actually. I actually do remember him.
Yeah. So David did the pilot episode, and he's a British guy, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Carson? He reminded me of one of the Beatles in his voice and the way he approached his work.
Which one?
Like a Paul McCartney or John Lennon type. Yeah. So
we talked about looking at the directing of these shows, and I find I'm not, and maybe I'm too used to how modern shows are being filmed, because there's so much static camera movement, or I'm sorry, that was an oxymoron. There's so little movement of the camera and everything's static. It's all stuck. And then it's kind of a single frame or a 2-shot, and then a single and then a 2-shot. And it's interesting watching that. And one of the things I was just looking up when looking up Paul Lynch, and one of the things Will Wheaton said about Paul Lynch, and he said, Paul Lynch, who directed the episode The Naked Now, directed several episodes of TNG. He was an Englishman who was always extraordinarily wound up, red-faced, sweating profusely, and infamous for saying energy, 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 and action. And I was thinking about that because I don't remember that. And I was thinking an interesting dichotomy between an actor that's trying to get more and more, yet the cameras are all still and nothing's really moving. There's no energy within the camera and the cinematography. And right. I have to be honest, I'm not a fan of that. And maybe that's a progress of cinematography in TV. We see Discovery and everything's moving, and there's a lot of creativity with what they're doing with the camera and lighting and what have you. And while there's too much lens flare, everything's pretty safe and flat and very typical of the 90s in in the camera work, or in what and how it's directed and set up. And I wonder how that changed. And I'm sure budget had something to do with that as well. More money, although there was a lot of money in our shows.